What if we could travel back in time?
This is the LZ-129, known around the world as the Hindenburg. Stretching 804 feet from the stern to the bow, it's the largest Zeppelin ever built. But before we talk about the downfall of Zeppelins, we should start at the beginning. Who created the Zeppelin? Frenchman Henry Giffard constructed the first successful airship in 1852. The first hydrogen-filled blimp flew at a speed of 6 miles per hour. The Zeppelin, developed in the late 18th century, was named after its inventor, the German Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin. Unlike the French airships, which came before the Zeppelin, it had a light metal framework that protected a gas-filled interior. Both airships were lifted by highly flammable hydrogen gas, and therefore vulnerable to explosion. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Uncovering the Past Feats of Engineering. My name is Kyle Bernadou, and I will be your guide into the unknown. On May 3rd, 1937, the Hindenburg left Frankfurt, Germany for a journey across the Atlantic to Lake Hertz Naval Air Base. As it was arriving on May 6th, 1937, the Hindenburg, considered the pride of Nazi Germany, burst into flames while it was attempting to moor. After the fire started, it rapidly fell 200 feet to the ground. The hull of the airship was incinerated within seconds, causing the death of 35 of the 96 passengers and crew members on board, along with one civilian on the ground. Surviving passengers and crew suffered substantial injuries. Today, there stands a monument at Lake Hertz Naval Air Base commemorating this disaster. We will continue learning about what really caused this disaster and see live footage after the break. What really caused the Hindenburg disaster? The US and German governments both concluded that a leaking gas cell allowed hydrogen from the airship to mix with oxygen from the outside air. A spark, possibly from static electricity, ignited the leaking gas, leading to the fire.
Nearing the fatal end of her first Atlantic trip of the season, the Hindenburg approaches the mooring mast at Lakehurst. 21 of these sky voyages the world's biggest dirigible has made, so safely, so surely that the experimental service has become a matter of routine. Scarcely 100 feet above ground, the giant airship with her framework encasing 7 million cubic feet of inflammable gas is being carefully maneuvered towards her hangar, when suddenly...
American scientists suggested that an electrical phenomenon called brush discharge had most likely ignited leaking hydrogen, starting the fast-moving fire. Even before the ashes had cooled, rumors were flying. 3 days after, the New York Daily News listed 5 leading theories for the cause of the disaster. 1. Lightning. 2. A backfiring motor. 3. Ground crew negligence, 4. A cold spark, and 5. An act of God. And later, the theory of a bomb being planted was introduced. The Hindenburg was one of the past feats of engineering. The May 1937 disaster, one of the most infamous disasters in aviation history, marked the beginning of the end of the airship. The crash, however, was only the beginning of the story.